oil change today, but tried to jack the car up over here and found that the ground was just too soft and the car was just sinking into the ground. I guess stuff getting wet here doesn't help around the pond and so on. I am on a farm, so yeah, today I'm probably going to get this thing installed, which is the CorkSport carbon fiber hood scoop. Just increases the intake on the front end a little bit over here. And I have found, by the way, that running this shroud in conjunction with this actually does make a very big difference as well into just directing the air onto the intercooler. It does make a very huge difference to run this shroud, so don't get rid of your shroud. But let's go on today. We're going to be doing the cabin air filter. So let's show you how to do that. I'll show you what we're replacing. It's these two little things that as air comes in from the outside of the car is going to sit between basically you and the air coming into the car. So I expect it to be quite dirty. It sits back up over there. We're going to start off over here. There's going to be a clip over here and another one on the other side over there. You're going to go ahead and clip those down. You'll bring this panel down and then you'll bring this, sorry about that. So you'll bring this panel down and then you'll pull it towards you. And then this one, you're just going to go ahead and clip out over here. And then once you've done that, it just comes towards you as well. So super easy to get that one out. You can even get it out before this one. And then there's two screws. We just want to undo the two screws on the bottom left. Two screws on the bottom left. There's 4 screws there, so only the 2 screws on the bottom left. And then we can get the filters out. You'll notice, guys, that the filters are of, they're not exactly the same. See, one sits sort of on top of each other. I want to say this one goes in the top. Anyway, we'll see. Just make sure that when you take the other ones out, you take reference of these little sliders as they go in and out, because it does make a difference which way they go in. So let's get it done. Alright, so this car is a little bit different. I didn't just take out the 2 screws, there was also a clip on the top. And I also took out this thing. I don't know why it was getting in the way of letting itself out, but yeah, that's the blower motor resistor, I think. Anyway, so now we can see all the crap that's trapped up in and under here. Oh, there's also that clip that we had to undo. It comes off this. That sits on this. Alright. Mine's got some weird gasket sitting through here as well. So I guess that's supposed to be there. Looks like it is. So we'll just run that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get those filters out. They're going to come down. One's going to be in like this. We're going to pull it out. The other one's going to slide down and out, and there's probably going to be quite a lot of crap that's going to come out of there. So yeah, that's why we're doing this, so we don't breathe other people's dirt and junk and everything. So let's get it done. So here you can see what I'm talking about. Now this was supposedly done less than 2,000 miles ago. There is no way. So it just goes to show what you see in your little Carfax reports ain't always true, guys. So we're going to go ahead and pop this in. You'll notice that this one over here, as it pops in, has this like little section that looks like that. This goes to the back on the passenger side, and then the other one is going to go in like this. Has the little wedge things to the top. Yeah, so there are lots of different ways to try to shove these things in there, so make sure that you take care of how these come out so that you can get your new ones back in again. You also notice the OEM ones, obviously I bought aftermarket ones, have this nice little strip on the top, probably to stop it from rattling around. So I'm actually going to tear this strip off and I'm going to tape it back on there again, or just use some double-sided tape just to like tape at least something on there so it won't be rattling around. So yeah, just take note of that obviously. This one will come out first, it just slides straight out. As you can see, smaller lip on the top. I might have needed to correct it myself from the first little bit there. And this like square step down step is in the bottom. Now once you pull that out, you can then slide this down and out. Go and get some foam. I used the double side tape this time. It's a lot of variation in these products I'm finding. The last one I had to really shove this in there. This one was actually very loose side to side, so I had to jack it up, and with the double-sided tape, that was all that was holding it up for me to be able to basically slide in and up and then slide this one in place. And once you slide it in place, you'll see that it basically mates to the bottom of this one over here. See that? So it's going to like slide in between its rungs. That's how they stay straight and stay on top of each other. And again, this is why you want to get these out of your car. Look at all that fucking nasty shit. It's just sitting there. So if your car's got like a weird mildew smell or has like a weird smell when you turn on the AC, this is why. Change those cabin air filters. Nasty. Alright, and then still losing out on the oil change today, but going to make the most of it because we have some more parts to install. Like I said, we're going to get this carbon filter on there. I mean, not filter, the hood scoop. So we're going to take this off. So there's going to be obviously a number of bolts over here. Here's a clip over here, some more over here. There are some more screws and clips and things here in the back. So be aware of them. That one clips into the hood over there. And you actually have to take these 3 out as well, 1, 2, and 3. So this whole piece can actually drop down. And there's some more bolts and things back here. So just make sure you take them all off. You're going to take the shroud off. You are going to refit the shroud again. It is going to be better for you to run the shroud. It puts the air onto your intercooler properly instead of just all over in the engine bay. So let's get going on that. Like I said, 1 clip, 2 clip, 3 clip. And there's a 4th one over there, and then undo all of these bolts all the way around. So guys, these clips can be very brittle. You just want to pry them away a little bit. You really want to pull them all the way out. But what happens is when you pull that all the way out, they both just fall down into the engine bay. So what I like to do is just pry it up a little bit. Pry and under it using one of these. Just pry either side and just get the whole clip out. One shot. So be careful, there's 3 of them. You don't want to break them. They're going to be brittle, they're going to be old, they're going to be sitting in there and probably never been removed, so just make sure you don't break yours. Alright, and then once you get the last clip out, you'll find that everything will slide out except for this one over here. You just go ahead and yank straight down, it'll come out. And then there is one more clip in the back of the holds into the hood over there. So yeah, it'll be pretty dirty. Clean it up. It's going to have this weird color in it. I'm going to try to spray mine with probably high gloss black or something, like a heat resistant black, so it's black in there again. Get everything looking good. Alright, and then let me show you these clips over here, right on the sides here, before they go into the hood a little bit. You can just grab them, pinch them, pull them up. Once you've pulled them up and loosen them, you're going to bring the hood down, lift the scoop up, and pop your new one in. So the stock shroud is off. Okay, so note that they normally have the plastics through there and there. So now, of course, you're not going to be having any, my one just broke out over there as well, so you're not going to have any buffering between this and your new carbon fiber part. Now, as you can see, when that happens, even with a stock one, paint will chip over time. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to run some electrical tape, this stuff right over here, bang bang, just going to run it right over this over here, as well as just a line back over here, and around the front over here, and on the sides over here, just so that it's not chattering around on the paint, just so that there's a little bit of a buffer and just to protect it. I take mine off quite often, so I'll be back in there again to clean it off and put on some new tape or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on there to protect the paint. Alright, so there we have it, just gone over all the little edges and around the bottom over here. I've seen dirt and chipping before, just like I saw from this one over here. I'm not going to do it all the way out the back because I don't want it to stick out. I actually want it to be semi-permanent. So we'll just see how this tape does. Sometimes you've got to end up retaping it. Obviously I come back, make some holes in the tape, so when I shove the stuff through over here, oops, I missed one. I'm going to make that hole still. So I come shove this stuff through over here, I won't break the tape and pull it loose. So let's get to installing the shroud. So boom, goes on nice and easy. As you can see, that is shroudless, of course, so you can see how much air can just swirl around inside there. I like to just tighten on one little nut real quick, come back into the hood without this flying off. Just put this back up. Alright. And now we're going to tighten up where we had a 1 and 2 and 3 in the middle, and I believe it was 1 over here, and we'll have to find out in just a second. I can't remember now exactly, but the shroud gets attached with the most of it. Here's all the clips for the shroud to go into. Make sure you wipe your hood before you put it back again. It will probably be the only time you'll be able to see inside of this for a while, and the rest just gets bolts and you are on your way. Alright, so apart from those 3 screw points which sit freely like that and obviously get their own bolts, there is one that sits back here that you need to do that is separate from the shroud. All the others actually sit on the other side of the shroud, but don't forget that one. You sort of got to tighten it up, this gets in the way. So just make sure you put one on there. It's on the back on the right hand side, so on the driver's side closest to, and then just put all your little bolts back in around the shroud. Now to put these back in, you want to pull the pin back as far as what you can so that you can compress these in, Once they're in, you just go ahead and shove that down like a button, and it'll button itself back up. Don't forget to push this one clip back into the hood part that it came out of to make sure that everything's nice and lined up, and then you are good to go with your new shroud on top.